Namami Buddhang, my homage to the Buddha. In this video, I am going to discuss with you a subhasutta, which is in Sīlakkhaṇḍa Vagga of Dīgha Nikāya. Subhasutta was preached by Venerable Ānanda to young one called Subha. He was a son of millionaire Toteya. After about 1 month later of the Parinirvāna of the Buddha, Venerable Ānanda was living in Rājagaha, and Subha was also living in Rājagaha for his task. Subha wanted to meet Venerable Ānanda. So Subha sent a message through his person saying that he would be pleased if Venerable Ānanda would visit him. In the following morning, Venerable Ānanda visited the young person Subha. Subha and Venerable Ānanda, they exchanged their views and they held the courteous speech as friends. Then Subha said, "You are the reverend who associated Buddha for many times, for many years. You attended the Buddha and you learned all the sermons that was delivered by the Buddha in certain places in India." Subha asked, "You know about the doctrine of the Buddha because you had close relationships with the Buddha." Subha asked, "What is the most appreciated pathway towards nibbana by the Buddha? And what is the pathway towards nibbana which was involved so many people by the Buddha as the followers?" Then Venerable Ānanda said, "The most appreciated pathway towards nibbana by the Buddha was Tisikha, that is sila, morality, samadhi, concentrations, panya, wisdom. Venerable Ananda explained this Trishiksha, gathering all the facts and techniques from other suttas, and he developed this Trishiksha, morality, concentration and wisdom. He developed each step of Tisikka, morality, as aggregate. He developed concentrations as aggregates, and he developed wisdom as aggregate, and he known as Arya Sila Skandha, Arya Samadhi Skandha, Arya Panya Skandha. So Skandha means aggregates. It counts a lot of facts of the topic. So Venerable Ananda added so many facts from the several suttas delivered by the Buddha about morality. He took different techniques and different facts and included them as aggregate Arya Sila Skandha. Then he added so many facts and techniques under concentrations, and it was known as Arya Samadhi Skandha. Then he included, or he gathered so many facts from suttas and included and said Arya Panya Skandha. In that way, Venerable Ananda developed the pathway towards nibbana as Arya Sila Skandha, Arya Samadhi Skandha, and Arya Panya Skandha. When Subha asked to describe these Arya Sila Skandha, he explained morality or Arya Sila Skandha as there were in several suttas. He absorbs facts and techniques from several suttas. Arya Samadhi Skandha and Arya Panya Skandha were also seen. He absorbs important facts and techniques to develop concentrations and wisdom, and he explained them to Subha. So the subhasutta comes under category of Sravaka Bhasita. There are some suttas in Sutta Pitaka, they are known as Sravaka Bhasita, because they were preached by the disciples of the Buddha, like Arahant Sariputta, Venerable Ananda. Arahant Sariputta and Venerable Ananda and other disciples, they described the suttas that comes under Sravaka Bhasita when the Buddha was living, under the supervision of the Buddha. Buddha was listening and Buddha was investigating the preaching of his disciples. The disciples was to preach. Satya Vibhanga Sutta is one of the Sravaka Bhasita, and Seka Sutta also the Sravaka Bhasita. Those suttas were preached by Sravakas or disciples when the Buddha was living under the supervision of the Buddha. After the preaching, the Buddha appreciated and praised the delivery and certified as the Buddha's words. But the subhasutta, it is different, because when Venerable Ananda was preaching this sutta to Subha, Buddha was not living. Buddha passed away, or his parinirvana took place before 1 month or so. So Buddha was not living, or there was no supervision of the Buddha. Venerable Ananda, he described the three sikha, Sila, Samadhi, Panya, as the pathway towards the nibbana, and also the so many people were involved by the Buddha to follow this pathway towards Buddha. The Subha asked Venerable Ananda about these, the most appreciated and the most people involved, the pathway towards nibbana. So Venerable Ananda gathered so many facts and techniques from several suttas, and he developed those three sikha as three skandha. It is known as Arya Sila Skandha. Arya Samadhi Skandha and Arya Panya Skandha. Venerable Ananda began to describe first Arya Sila Skandha. What is Arya Sila Skandha? When the person takes interest to follow this pathway, he feels to follow this pathway, he can't follow this pathway correctly as a layperson. So he becomes a monk. After being monk, a novice monk, he begins to develop or practice this Arya Sila Skandha. Venerable Ananda explained the so many techniques how this monk develops his morality as Arya Sila Skandha. He categorized morality as Thula Sila, Madhya Sila and Mahasila. Thula Sila means the monk starts practicing morality from the minor precepts like abstaining killing, abstaining from stealing. In that way, he observed and he preserved and he developed his morality after observing minor precepts called Samanera Dasasila, tenfold of precepts for novice monk. He practiced them. He abstained from doing those 10 kinds of wrong actions and developed his Thula Sila. Then he developed his Madhya Sila. In developing Madhya Sila, he behaved to protect the small plants in the environment. He does not destroy seeds and plants. In short, he does not destroy environment. He protects environment. Then he developed his Mahasila. So he abstained from astrology and he abstained from talking about kings, ministers and robbers and so on, and taking messages to the kings In that way, he developed his Mahasila morality in Arya Sila Iskand. He abstains from forecasting, such as weather forecasting, and he abstains from miraculous deeds, such as a change in the attitude of the persons, and he abstains from weather forecasting. In that way, he developed his Mahasila under Arya Sila Skanda. And after describing Arya Sila Skanda, Subha asked to discuss or describe what is Arya Samadhi Skanda. Then Venerable Ananda explained in deep, including all the techniques from taking several suttas, how to develop concentrations. When the monk develops his concentrations, he avoids from 5 hindrances. He sets his mind free from 5 hindrances, and he feels happiness because of no bad effect of 5 hindrances. Then he developed his concentrations. When he developed his concentrations, he attained to absorptions. Prathama dhyana, dutiya dhyana, tatiya dhyana, and chaturthyat dhyana. He attains Prathama dhyana, vitakka vichara piti sukha ekaggata. Piti sukha ekaggata, sukha ekaggata, upekka ekaggata. In that way, he developed by using so many techniques. Venerable Ananda explained the techniques that the monk uses to develop his concentrations. In that way, the monk developed his Arya Samadhi Skanda. Then Subha asked, what is Arya Prajna Skanda? Then again, Venerable Ananda explained, as there are in several suttas using so many techniques and important facts about the Panya Skanda, Arya Panya Skanda, how to develop wisdom. When the monk is of the concentrated mind, he developed his mind in wisdom. They are called manomaya iddhi jnana, iddhivita jnana, pubbē nivāsānussati jnana, tutupapāta jnana, āsavakṣekara jnana. In that way, Venerable Ananda explained Subha, including so many techniques, how to develop those wisdom. When the monk has developed his manomaya iddhi jnana, he can create his astral body. Astral body is the mental body. It is so much of the natural body. We know in the third week after the Buddhahood, Buddha did the sakmana walking with his astral body, with his mental body. So there appeared two Buddhas, equal in appearance. There were two Buddhas who were walking. In that way, when a sword is dragged and separated from its scabbard, there are two things. In that way, the monk who develops manomaya iddhi jnana, he can create, he can separate his astral body from the natural body. When he developed pubbē nivāsānussati jnana, he can see the many persons, including himself, the former birth. He knows everything about the former birth of the persons. Then he developed tutupapāta jnana. When he develops tutupapāta jnana, he knows where the person is to be born after his death. In India, paropariyatta jnana, in that way, he developed. At last he developed āsavakṣekara jnana. He feels that he has eradicated all the defilements in his mind, and there is nothing to do to achieve nibbana. So he has attained to nibbana after having āsavakṣekara jnana. He abolishes kāmasrava, bhavasrava and avidyasrava. After abolishing karmasrava, after abolishing bhavasrava, he does not have rebirth thereafter. After having abolishing avidyasrava, he understands the Four Noble Truths in 12 ways. Suffering or the dukkha, unsatisfactoriness, dukkha, and the cause of dukkha and the situation of dukkha and the way towards the cessation of dukkha. In that way, the monk who understands the Four Noble Truths in 12 ways, it is called Satyajnana, Krutyajnana, Krutajnana. When we take term dukkha, Satyajnana is understanding clearly about dukkha. We understand there is such things called dukkha, Satyajnana. Krutyajnana, he understands when he has this dukkha, he feels some pains and suffering, everything because of dukkha. He understands all suffering, paining and miseries, they are because of dukkha, he understands. And Krutajnana, he understands we have to abolish this dukkha, unsatisfactory. And he used some techniques to abolish dukkha. In that way, the cause of dukkha, samudaya satya, is also Satyajnana, Krutyajnana, Krutajnana. In that way, in 12 ways, he understands the Four Noble Truths and he attained nibbana. Venerable Ananda explained those three aggregates: Arya Sila Skandha, Arya Panya Arya Samadhi Skandha, Arya Panya Skandha. After listening Subha, the young person, he was pleased, he was very happy and told he will be the follower of the triple gems, Buddha's pathway. He appealed Venerable Ananda to regard him as one of the followers of the Buddha, that is Upasaka. He accepted the triple gems, the qualities of triple gems, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Much merit to you for listening to my Dhamma. Blessing of the triple gems be showered upon you.